Um, all right, thank you. From that last talk, you may have been like, okay, look at these numbers and these win rates and stuff like that. But how do we know the games are any good? How do we know that they are actually different and not just doing the same thing over and over again? And so with that, we present an ERA approach to dynamic difficulty adjustment systems. And this was done with myself, Ollie Withington, who is brilliant in ERA, and Eddie Melcer, who's my advisor. And so what is dynamic difficulty adjustment? It's a subcategory of dynamic game balancing, which is balancing at runtime, and it alters the properties of a game so that it achieves some designer goal, right? Making the game easier or harder or so on and so forth. DDA focuses on difficulty in particular, and it, once again, many different methods for doing this. Can be simple enemy scaling, spawning, NPC behavior tuning, rubber banding, but as you could have guessed, and important in this talk, AI directors. Come on. So how do we evaluate DDA systems? What I would like to argue, and luckily I got queued up a little bit for this, is that DDA systems are inherently procedural in terms of their output. They may be invisible, they may not be producing explicit artifacts, but they aim to produce differences in play experiences that are fundamentally unique from one another. But they're very hard to understand in terms of output. Balance is invisible, difficulty is invisible, and they have these effectively infinite combinatoric spaces and outputs, but they have those probability clusters we like to see in PCG systems around their most common outputs. And so in games, we want to know the scope of these procedural systems, and we want them to align with our goals, but we also want them to be expressive. And so enter expressive range analysis. And I know what you might be thinking, expressive range in Playtraces? I hope this is a peanut butter and chocolate moment for you all. Expressive range analysis is very well established. I think it's a very valid technique in terms of visualizing the possible output from these procedural systems. And if we want our DDA systems to be expressive and give these engaging experiences, we can look at what the state of the game or the game state is and judge that, and as well as the player play traces, and look at those as signals of expressivity. We can then compare variations of our DDA systems, like multiple types of directors for multiple different types of personas, and understand which is most expressive for our use case. And so this is just poster advertisement, so lots of fun graphs outside, come talk to me. But basically, we looked at a large corpus of play traces, several thousand, using those different director conditions. We selected our metric set, we reduced the dimensions, we did that initial ERA diversity assessment, which is here. We then did a encounter clustering, and then we analyzed those clustering from a qualitative perspective to understand what they lined up with. And so we identified some archetypes from our directors. They started to produce types of games that you would see in turn-based RPGs that are actually important for implementation and design strategy. So we identified 3 archetypes, and I'm using this in the context of Pokemon. You have the grindy. If anyone's battled Blissey before, you know how long that sucker takes to kill. You have explosive, which are these dramatic, tense, swingy, and this can be compared to VGC games, which only last, 8 to 12 turns, but they're really intense and swingy. And then you have strategic, which are they're more endurance oriented, but they're more tactical. There's kind of a fine choosing of decisions. And you can think about this as like boss battles like Eternatus. We suggest a design loop. It's a lot of text and boxes. Come talk to me at the poster session. And once again, my dude, why? We want to make this invisible but crucial element in terms of balance and difficulty visible and interpretable. And most importantly, we want to be able to talk about it in terms of its expressive potential, because game balance and the way we experience difficulty in games is expressive in nature. We want to know if your system is hitting your desired player personas, if it's producing the styles of play experiences that you want through your procedural balancing systems. And I'm just going to repeat this. Balancing is time consuming and expensive. Just save yourself a few development iterations. If I can move that designer dart just one circle closer to the bullseye, hopefully I've saved you a lot of grief. And I don't think I take questions here. So thank you.